welcome to another episode of Abednego Files. This video will be discussing exactly what ghosts are. There's a big misconception out there about what exactly they are. Most people tend to believe they are benign entities or family members or friends that have passed away who, for whatever reason, linger around and haunt us. This couldn't be further away from the truth. And I will prove to you in this video and give you some evidence that backs up why I believe that they are actually demons. First of all, the Bible does discuss this at length, but there's one verse in particular, a unique verse, that basically obliterates the idea of these things being benign entities that are ghosts from our families and friends. And that is in Corinthians, where Paul writes something very interesting, and that is right here. I'll just kind of read you this excerpt here. Knowing that Christians should not fear death, they should long to depart and be with Christ, for that is very much better. That does not mean, of course, that they are to be foolishly reckless or careless with their lives. Their bodies belong to God. But an obsessive concern for one's physical well-being or morbid fear of death is inconsistent with a Christian perspective. Believers should long for heaven like a prisoner longs for freedom, like a sick man longs for health, like a hungry man longs for food. Now what we're going to get into here is just kind of where Paul mentions this, which is Paul welcomed the end of his temporal existence, rather to be absent from the body and to be at home with the Lord. And that specifically, that quote is right here in 2 Corinthians 5:8. We are of good courage, I say, and prefer rather to be absent from the body and to be at home with the Lord. This was not a morbid death wish on Paul's part. He was not saying he was burnt out, fed up with living, and eager to die. Rather, he was expressing his confidence that the earthly existence is not the end of life at all for the Christian. Death immediately ushers the believer into a fuller, higher realm of a more abundant life in the very presence of the Lord. Now, basically, all that's saying is, once you die, you do not stick around and haunt your relatives. You are immediately in the presence of the Lord. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. So there, it says it right there. Anyway, I didn't always used to believe that myself. I grew up Christian in a Christian home, and I grew up with a lot of hauntings in our home and a lot of demonic attacks. Of course, a lot of this was my own fault for messing with Ouija boards. I should probably have never done that, but I did, and as a result, I brought hauntings into our home, and for many years was tormented by it. I also experienced a lot of sleep paralysis and may or may not have been abducted by so-called aliens. I did another video on aliens and also discussed the fact that aliens are also demons. They are not from some other planet, from some distant star billions of light years away. That, of course, doesn't make sense, but you can check out my other video. L.A. Marzulli and Tom Horn are in that video, and they speak at length about the same thing that I'm discussing, which is that they're demonic and they're not from another solar system. Same thing goes with ghosts. They're not actually ghosts. They're demonic in nature. And one of the points of evidence I'd like to discuss is the fact that they use symbolism. They use, for instance, threes. They do things in threes. So as this video right here will show you, and there are hundreds of videos like this on YouTube you can check out, but this is just a random one that I kind of selected. This guy's experiencing 3 knocks to get his attention, and this is mocking the Holy Trinity. So demonic presences like to do this. The same thing with aliens. That's one of the reasons why a lot of the craft that you see are triangular in shape. It's all mocking the Trinity, and that's what they seek. We are, as humans, we are made in the image of God, and demons hate that. They hate us for it. So anyway, that's another point. But check out this video real quick, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This guy's trying to go to bed, and he's going to film this sound, so just check it out.
I'm going to leave the camera running. I'm going to try to get this on film. That's our Hughes. That's my pickle. he's just barking his full head off. You might not think it's such a good idea.
Alright, so this guy goes to bed at some point.
What was that?
Well, he goes on to, you know, try and figure out where the noise is coming from, of course. What he doesn't realize is that it is not a ghost, but it's demonic. And one of the ways you know that is because the knocks come in a series of 3, which is, in effect, mocking the Holy Trinity. And that's across the board with a lot of things, like aliens do the same thing. They tend to mock the Trinity with everything they do, from their vehicles being triangle-shaped, which are the 3 points, the Holy Trinity, to scratches, to 3 knocks. And that's another one I want to get into, is the scratching. So another way they use the Holy Trinity to mock the Holy Trinity is to scratch people with 3 claw marks. And again, this is another way you can tell this is not your dead grandma haunting you at your home. I don't think she wants to, in the middle of the night, scratch your arm and terrify you. But so here's this woman who has something happen to her, and I'll just play the video.
It looks like 1, 2, 3. I felt itching when I was sitting there, and I look and I go, what the hell? There's 3 scratch marks there. And they're all welting up. It still burns a little bit.
So anyway, that's just a couple videos. I mean, there are tons of these kinds of videos of people being scratched and marks showing up on their skin. I don't speak to the validity of these videos, but it is prevalent enough to know that something is definitely wrong here. Here's another guy.
Like the battery's dying, so
Woke me up out of my sleep. Went to go check in the mirror, and it almost looks like there's scratch marks on my friggin' back. I'm tripping the hell out right now. I'm freaking out. Lizzie, please, like, record my back.
What?
I'm sure his girlfriend appreciated having this video posted with her, you know, in this condition.
Record my back. There's something on my back. Do you see this on my back? What's on my back?
I can't see anything. Lean down.
What is it?
What the? There's scratches on your back.
How bad is it?
Interesting.
What is that from?
I have no idea. It
I do.
hurt. It burned so bad. Like, it literally woke me up out of my sleep.
Oh my god.
It burned so bad. I have no idea what it's from. It hurts so bad. It's like a burning sensation. It's not going away.
I don't know what to say.
Here, shine a light on it.
Now, you know, again, I don't speak to the validity of this. I don't know if this is a fake or whatever. I'm sure there's plenty of fakes out there too, but I've experienced similar things in my own life, and I can tell you from experience with hauntings and possible abductions and sleep paralysis that these things are real, and they are not benign in nature. They are malevolent, and they definitely do want to hurt us, and they hate us because we are in the image of Christ. That is just the way it goes, folks. I'm not trying to scare you, but that's the reality of it. You know, I've lived with this for many years. I grew up Christian, and you know, these things have been in my life a long time, and it wasn't until I finally started really researching and discovering the power that the name of Jesus has in it that I was able to fight against it. And now I have no hauntings, no sleep paralysis, none of that stuff. This is a phenomenon that again, it, you know, works for everybody. If you call on the name of Jesus during any of these episodes, you will be taken right out of that situation and put back into safety. There's a lot of research I've done on that as well, and it works whether you're being abducted by aliens or there's a ghost or a demonic threat in your home. The name of Jesus has a lot of power in it. Okay, so much to my frustration, this is like the 50th time I've had to record because my recording, my screen capture, it keeps going out on me, and it's never happened like this before. And this just tells you, you know, these demonic forces don't want me exposing them either, and they can mess with us digitally, and that's one of the ways they do. So I'm quite sure that I'm being screwed with right now. They don't want me uploading these videos, and this video is taking me about 5 times as long as it normally should. Anyway, I'm pushing through. I'm going to get it done no matter what. So if there's a little choppiness in the video, I apologize. Anyway, thanks for listening, and you know, don't forget to subscribe and let me know in the comments what you think and what other kind of topics you want to see in the future. Thanks so much, and this is Abednego Files signing out.